Yes, indeed. Big Brother Bear here to give you all that you want and what you need. Today, I'm going to give you 5 traits that every red shirt needs in order to be successful being a student athlete in college.
Hoop loudy.
So if you don't know, I put out information for student athletes both in college and in high school in areas like academics, socially, athletics, anything and everything about the student athlete process. That process was very difficult for me going through myself. I didn't have anybody to call. I didn't have anybody to help me along. My dad, my mom didn't go through this. I was the first person in my family to graduate in a traditional sense, going to college and definitely being a student athlete. So I just want to be able to offer that to others going through that process. Now, if you need some individual help, stop by hooplottery.com. Check out the site so you can talk to me one-on-one. But if you have general questions, put them in the comments and I can give you some general principles on this channel. Now, some of you may not even know what redshirting means. Now, I know this personally because that's how I got my start playing at a junior college in Utah called College of Eastern Utah. It's called Utah State Eastern now, but in Price, Utah, Highway 6, that's where I got my start. And I had the redshirt. And redshirt meaning that I had to practice with the team, but I didn't get a chance to play on the basketball team. The great thing about that is it didn't count against my eligibility. So I came in as a redshirt freshman, and after my redshirt freshman year, I still had 4 years of eligibility. So that's great. I was successful at being I would say I was successful at being a redshirt because every year after that, I got it paid for. Every year that I played basketball after that, collegiately, I got it paid for. It was a full ride scholarship. And it all started by not getting a full ride scholarship and being a redshirt walk-on. So I know the traits that I'm going to share with you today is really going to help you on your journey. Number 1, the first trait that you need to understand, or the first mindset you need to have as far as being a redshirt freshman is this. Ask yourself, it's a very honest question. I know a lot of people don't want to be honest with themselves, but ask yourself, am I causing the team to regress or progress? Regress meaning backwards. Are they getting worse? Or progress meaning they're getting better. Like I'm getting them in shape for the actual competition they're going to see in the gameplay. Well, we've all played against people that we swim laps around, right? We've played against people that just weren't as talented as us, weren't as athletic, weren't as skilled as us, right? It could be our little sister or little brother or a little cousin or whatnot, and they just can't play with us. They're just not good enough, right? If we play against those individuals long enough, we start building up in our mind that, we're really good. We're really good. Until we play against somebody that is a formidable opponent, then we realize that we're not as good as we thought we were. But we get in that funk because we're playing against lesser than. Are you that lesser than for the team? If you are, then there's no reason for you to be in that position. Whereas you need to be focused on being competition, giving them a fight as far as competition goes in practice, right? Helping them prepare for the game. That's a big reason why you're there because when coaches are trying to prepare their teams, if you are not helping them prepare, then you're hurting their chances of actually winning. 2, grades. A good trait to have is focusing on your grades when you are a redshirt. You have more time to focus on your grades. When everyone else is going to road games and they have basketball games to play in, you can spend that time actually getting better and higher your GPA. So when you do become a full student athlete and you're actually playing the games, when your time is limited, you've already built up momentum and having healthy habits and time management things that is going to help you. So I would say make sure that you use this time to focus on your grades. You don't want any coaches to have to say that you were on academic probation because it just looks bad and it looks like it's more work to have you in future years. If you're a redshirt freshman and you don't have to worry about anything but showing up for practice and going to class and you don't take care of your class, from a coach's standpoint, why would I want to bring this person back for another year? That seems like more work on my staff. That seems like more hours I have to work and make sure this person goes to class. You should already have that. My third trait that every student athlete that's going to be a redshirt needs to understand, especially, everybody needs to understand it, but red shirts especially, is team chemistry. The best way I can put it to you is this. Coaches have already started the party. They've already got the hors d'oeuvres, they got the salads, they got the desserts, they got the music, they got the games, they got everything. They've already got that stuff taken care of. You are a guest. Okay? You're a guest. You're not the focal point, you're not the centerpiece, you're not the star attraction, you're not You are a guest, okay? And I need you to understand that you are a guest. The problem lies is when you try to start your own party. When you start to come in there and you have this mentality like you have a chip on your shoulder. I know we see it, in NBA Finals, playoffs. We feel like, we want to have a chip on our shoulders. I'm telling you, that's the easiest way to not be asked back at a team. That's the easiest way for a coach not to want anything to do with you. Because what you're doing is disrupting the chemistry that his or her team has already established. That is not your job. Your job is to get along with, first of all, get along with coaches, but also get along with the doggone teammates. Some of you may say, well, man, I don't want to be fake. Listen. You need to get along with them. You need to get along with them. You need to be supporting cast of what they already have going on. You don't want to disrupt what they already have. It's not your job to try to show anyone up. It's not your job to prove to coach he made a decision and he should have played you this year. That is the wrong mentality. Okay. First of all, I will say this. This kind of goes into a whole different tangent, but as far as the whole redshirt thing, it's a blessing. It's a privilege. It's an honor to be a redshirt. That means that coach sees something in you that he or she wants you back in the future, right? That means that person's the only thing this is saying is you probably need to bulk up a little bit. Maybe your IQ isn't where it needs to be. Maybe you need help more in the classroom during that time. Maybe he just already has his coach, his team that he wants to rock with now, and you're just gonna come later. So don't look at it from a standpoint of, it's a negative thing, because it's definitely not. But your goal is to make sure that you are an added bonus as far as chemistry goes. You want to be a person that's celebrating everyone else. You want to be a person that is a cheerleader without the pom-poms and skirt, okay? You want to make sure that everybody knows that your personal success doesn't out-trump the team success. You want to play the role that your team wants you to play or needs you to play in order for them to be successful. If that's just clapping, if that's just whatever that is, figure out what that is and make sure you play that to a T. But the last thing you want to do is go in there and act like people owe you something. The last thing you want to do is go in there and act like, it's me against the world. I got a chip on my shoulder. I got to prove to everybody I made a mistake. You aren't doing anything but making yourself look foolish. If you have a bad attitude, even if you're good, you having a bad attitude will overshadow you being good, and people don't want to work with you. Understand that. The fourth trait that you need to adopt is making sure that you're not a distraction, okay? The question always comes, is the juice worth the squeeze? Meaning, is the work that it takes to get production out of you worth what we're actually getting back, right? If I have to beat you to go to class, I have to chase you with a stick to make sure you don't practice on time. If you always, it's situations where there's a mess, you always a part of it. You always a part of. I'm always the person that I gotta come bail you out of jail. I gotta make sure that the professors know that you'll turn in your homework the next time. You ain't been going to class. If I have to do that from a coach's standpoint, and you're a redshirt, you're not even benefiting me right now. Why would I do that? Why would I volunteer? Why would I voluntarily go through some bullcrap like that? I'm not. I can't even justify it. I cannot even justify that you're still associated with the team. So from my standpoint, let me get this straight. So you get to associate yourself with our team, but you don't benefit from us as far as the win-loss margin directly. Sure, you do indirectly by practicing and keeping our guys up to speed or whatnot. But directly, I can't call on you and say, hey man, come get us a bucket. I can't do that. So you mean to tell me that you're going to act a fool in class, not come to practice, have a piss poor attitude, and I'm supposed to want you around? No! First of all, the other guys see you acting like this. And now they're questioning, am I showing favoritism by even allowing you to come back on a daily basis when you have this attitude? Now you're setting the precedent for everybody else to act a doggone fool. No, that's not going to be the case. The trait you need to pull from this one is make sure that you're not a distraction. You are supporting cast. You are not the focal point. You are not the star. You are supporting cast. Your job is to not be a distraction from everyone else in the production that we're making as a team. If you are a distraction, we do not need you. If you are a distraction, we don't need you. 5. Now this is probably the best one I can come up with, and I lived this myself. The trait, the mindset that you need to have as far as being a redshirt is this. I need you to go in there and treat this like a year-long tryout. And make sure you don't treat this like a year-long vacation, because people on vacation get lazy. They eat stuff they ain't got no business eating. They're wasting time, right? They're doing all the things that's not productive on a normal day, right? But on a tryout, hopefully you come in there in shape. Hopefully you're eager to learn and eager to be productive. Hopefully that's the case. What I'm telling you is that tryout that you would normally have for one day, stretch that out for the whole year. Understand it's a tryout athletically, obviously, right? As far as getting better and making sure you get in the gym afterwards and continue to work on your craft. It's a tryout as far as taking care of your body. They want to see, are you going to take care of your body? Are you going to make sure you're icing and getting an adequate amount of rest? Are you going to do that? It's a tryout socially. That may throw some people off. It's a tryout socially. You know, in the NBA draft, when they start bringing up stuff about their coach, the players' coaching and their family, oh, he comes from a great family. Oh, he comes from this and that. They're already looking behind the scenes of what people may think like, oh, it's not a big deal. They know it's a big deal. They know that the people that have access to your ear and be telling you stuff, they're going to have to combat that. Much like the Ball brothers, right? You can say what you want to say, good, bad, and different, doesn't make a difference. But you know that you've heard some of the analysts and some of the teams have a little hesitancy. They haven't seen a dad that active in someone going through the draft. So they're thinking like, if this dad is so vocal, is it going to be tougher for us because of this guy, basically? And you got to understand, socially, it's going to be a trial because coaches they're going to want to know, like on your redshirt year, who are you hanging around with? Were they negative people, right? These are like listen. This is a tryout. I need to see what you bring to the table. We need to know so we can assess if the juice is worth the squeeze, man. Is this something I want to be a part of? I got a full year to get assessment if this is going to be a good fit. And so try out athletically, try out socially, try out academically, right? Try out as it relates to, what's the word I'm looking for? Struggle, grits, hustle. Getting bad news and still being able to battle through it, right? That as well. This is the entire time that you get to see. They get to see what they're actually getting into, and you need to treat it like that. Don't get. Listen, I don't care if y'all at the Maui Classic. You get your toes in the sand and get comfortable if you want to. You be on the next thing flying back to your hometown. I'm telling you, this is not something that you just feel like, oh well, since I'm not actually playing the games and I don't have any responsibility. You have more responsibility. It's going to be harder for you, okay? You should have that mindset. It's going to be harder for you because they have to really justify you being there. And you need to justify it as well. Redshirting was by far the best thing I was a part of going through college. My freshman year, I got a jump start. I got bigger. I got stronger. I was able to work on my game. Academically, it helped me. It helped me out a lot, and I know it'll help you out. But if you have the wrong mentality, if you don't adhere to these traits that I'm saying you need to adopt, these philosophies, it's not going to help you out. So listen, if you need my individual help, go to hooplottie.com. Check me out. We can jump on a call one-on-one. But if you need some more general information, make sure you just put in the comments below of what topics you want to see. And as always, with this ultimate quarter off in the classroom, out, graduate at the top of your class. Hoop Lottie.